have we got a show for you.
Hi kids, welcome to Veggie Tales. I'm Bob the Tomato.
And I'm Larry the Cucumber.
And today we're going to take a break from retelling Bible stories and answering your doctrinal questions, and instead talk about the potent cocktail of fear, scandal, and passion that is Arthur Miller's The Crucible.
Don't you think that'd be a little too dark or tragic for the kids?
Nah, it's a classic.
Alright. Well then, our story takes place way back in 1692 in colonial America.
Let's introduce you to Abigail, the spiteful young woman in the infamous town of Salem, Massachusetts. Alright, in hindsight, my prank probs went a teensy bit too far. TBH, I thought the whole thing was no big deal until I got my ex-lover's neck snapped. It all started when my uncle, Reverend Paris, caught me and the girls casting spells in the woods with our slave, Tituba. Then his daughter Betty started acting totally nuts. And the whole town of Salem started talking about witchcraft, but I didn't care as long as I wasn't in too much trouble. The whole reason I was gallivanting in the forest with witchcraft was to use Tituba's magical powers to get rid of Goody Two-Shoes, Elizabeth Proctor. I used to work for her and her husband John, and I was head over heels for him. I didn't understand why a wimp like her ended up with a hottie like him. I was convinced that he couldn't resist me, so I had a fling with him, which cost me my job. I decided I'd get some revenge. Now that this reverend, who was a popular witch hunter from a different town, came, I had to be super careful because being executed for dabbling in witchcraft was not on my bucket list. After I threw Tituba under the bus, I noticed Mary Warren, one of my past groupies, becoming super tight with Elizabeth, John's lame-o wife. She made her a dolly and everything. To stop that train in its tracks, I put on a whole act of getting stabbed with a pin, voodoo style, and when the Reverend found the pin I'd planted in Elizabeth's new doll, everything went total witch trial, Salem style. I was pretty much unstoppable. Anyone I didn't like, I just accused them of being a witch and they'd get arrested. Pretty soon, other people in the town started jumping on the bandwagon too, and accusing their local rivals. John thought it was getting way too crazy, so he convinced Mary to tell everyone how I was a scam. But I just accused her of witchcraft in front of the whole court by making up a story about a yellow bird threatening me. That set her straight. She lied to the court by saying that John was actually evil and he was trying to persuade her to join Team Satan. Probs would have been fine if he didn't tell everyone that we'd had an affair and I wasn't to be trusted, but that totally rebounded on him when Elizabeth lied to the jury to protect his reputation and said that we hadn't had an affair after all. Haha, watching them try to save each other was totally pathetic. Soon I was all, I gotta get over it, so I took my uncle's money and ran away. Maybe John wouldn't have been executed if he wouldn't have had this weird habit of not lying. I mean, look at this.
So, I kind of think this whole witch thing has gone way too far, John. Today you could totally get hanged unless you sign this confession to witchcraft. Then we'll let you go and allow you to repent and stuff.
But oh my gosh, if I sign that, it'll be dishonest. God would never forgive me and I'll never feel good about myself.
Wow, I am so not getting anywhere with him. If I really want to save his life, I should probably get his wife in here to convince him. Oh, Elizabeth!
I'm here! How can I help?
Can you convince your husband to sign this confession? If he doesn't, he'll be executed and leave your children destitute. If he does, we'll let him go.
Okay, I'll try. John, finally we're alone! I just wanted to tell you that I think you are a very good man, even though you did cheat on me with Abigail. Oh, and also, I'm not going to sign my own confession because I just can't seem to bring myself to do otherwise, but I won't judge you at all, no matter what you choose to do.
Oh, wow. Well, I still want to ask your forgiveness for everything I've done.
I think what's most important is that you forgive yourself. Maybe I need to ask you for forgiveness.
Why?
Because I was such a cold wife. And that probably drove you to cheat on me with Abigail. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Elizabeth, you've given me determination to live. Hey, Reverend.
Okay, what?
I've just decided that I have fraternized with witchcraft.
Oh, sweet.
So you can set me free now, right?
Sure, just sign this confession that'll be posted outside the church, and you're free to go.
Holy crap, I can't do this. My sons will see this and my reputation would tarnish theirs and their sons. Can't I just say that I did witchcraft?
No.
Fine, then I can't do this. Take me to the gallows.
What? Elizabeth, please talk some sense into him. He's your husband.
He has his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
So stupid. Sure, maybe that was like the crux of John's story, maybe even his existence. I guess he did have to choose the wrong and easy path, or the right and hard path. And by hard path, I mean hanging from a noose. Like I said though, it is sort of a shame that the prank got him hung and all, but hey, that's what you get for dumping me.
I liked The Crucible because it was a fictional story that brought a historical event to life, and it gave me a better understanding of the Salem witch trials.
I like The Crucible because it's a combination of fear and anxiety and passion, but there's also a little bit of goodness and honesty in it, and it really drives home the lesson about how often history repeats itself.
So I liked and disliked The Crucible. I liked The Crucible because of all the complex characters that added a lot of deeper emotion to it, but I disliked The Crucible because there was way too many characters that had no meaning to them at all.
I like The Crucible because I like learning about the Salem witch trials with all the emotion and passion, but I thought the book was kind of boring to read.
I like The Crucible because it brings history to life and it made learning about the Salem witch trials more fun and realistic.
Answering your doctrinal question. Dang it. Sorry. Alright, in hindsight, my. Oh crap. Alright, in hindsight. I don't know what. Alright, in hindsight, my.
Every time!
John's lame-o wife. She made her a dolly and everything to stop the train in its tracks. I put on a whole act of getting stabbed with a pin.
John. Today you could totally get hanged unless you sign this confession to witchcraft. Then we'll let you go.
God will never forgive me and I'll never feel good about it. You've given me determination to live. Hey, Reverend.
Hey, what?
Okay.